Hello and welcome back to the Banner Saga, where I am 3 hours late and already exhausted and have been for hours. So, the perfect time to record, right? I could leave this till later, but I make a plan, stick to it, even when it's fucked up and dumb. Don't question my choices. I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so what were we dealing with last time? We had a couple of combats where people were wounded, and they did not heal on the road like I thought they would. So, we've got quite a few people injured. Probably would do us some good to rest at least a day, probably two. Almost definitely two. And then level some people up. We can do the level ups now, it doesn't make a difference. So, excuse me. What have we got? All the way up to 4 break. That's pretty substantial. Am I leaving? That seems reasonably balanced. Okay. At this point, I just don't care about the morale. I've broken the sanctity of the game. I'll do what I need to do. I've been trying not to, read too far ahead, but also trying to figure out what's going on with this game and if I'm just missing something. And clearly I am to some extent, purely because other people are making it through this game much faster than me. Obviously recording it induces its own delays. I tend to assume that most of my recordings, most of my games that I record will go somewhere between 20 and 30% longer than they normally would. But this is more significant. I'm at nearly 11 hours of gameplay, and I'm only I'm only partway through chapter 3 out of, I believe, a total of 6, either 5 or 6. They may not all be equal in length, but I'm already well on the far end of the length of a playthrough. So it's kind of curious to me. Yeah. So I'm not sure whether that some of that may be related to um one, the tendency for this game to make me monologue, but also my extreme caution in tactics games that is perhaps unwarranted under the circumstances. Do I want to do that or do I want to do that? Yeah, one and the difference won't make the... Well, it probably will now that I've said that. Okay, anyway. As I recall, we were on the road and I just stopped us because we needed to stop. But we definitely need to rest. For morale as well. Let's rest one more day. I don't think we're really hurting. I mean, we've got theoretically 49 days of supplies, whatever that actually means. And having good morale will also help us significantly in combat. It's only one more wounded, is that right? Bercy, yeah. Okay. We'll save him for the next round of healing. Okay, back on the road. I think we were pretty close to... Was this the Godstone? Caravan stops, Godstone looming overhead for a short rest. The warriors are glad for it. and the stone gives you an ancient sense of being watched over, in a comforting way. It didn't help the bodies underneath it, though. The earth at the base of the godstone is scarred, like a struggle occurred. Merchants. No dredge. Encircling Dengler are a variety of goods. A barrel of mead, who knows how old. Loose silver, a statue made of soapstone. Offerings to a dead god. Boy, that's formatted like crap. We did discuss this before. This feels like it's a bad idea for one reason or another. Or, you know, multiple reasons. Let's just do this. In the midst of the pile of bodies, a glitter catches your eye. You fish a gold necklace out from a jerkin to find 5 golden rings strung on it. The merchant's brother. Guess he didn't make it, you mutter. Did we specifically discuss the necklace? I don't recall. Take the necklace with the intent to return it. You toss the necklace to Mogar and tell him to hang on to it. If anyone can be trusted, it's him. Don't know what made them think the Godstone would be safe, Mogar grunts. We're completely exposed up here, he says. If we're going to rest, I think we ought to do it a little further away. Well, examining it doesn't hurt, right? You're not going to screw me on that. Dengler was always one of the favorites amongst men. God of good fortune. They believed he brought luck, wealth, or whatever wish you had, but couldn't get on your own. The word fortune has a lot of meanings. Eventually you move on. I wish this had a little more variability in the animations and the colors. It's very pretty, but it's, you know, for all the detail put into the static elements, there's, you know, things missing elsewhere. Morale went up. In the distance you see smoke rising from the trees. Dredge aren't known for setting fires, says Mogar, but it does get their attention. We'd used fires like that to lead them along in the Great Wars. Yeah, but they wised up to that after a while, interjects another warrior. Or it could be someone trying to get our attention, claims Fasalt. The other groups... Oh, that's right, I forgot we met up with that other group who was supposed to direct us. That's what we're doing. The other group from Schlid were sent this way. No matter how you look at it, investigating will cost time. It strikes me that that we should check it out. Either somebody's in trouble or somebody needs us to go to them. I don't know. What the hell does time cost us, right? We've got 47 days worth of food. Unless we're, like, not getting to the place in time. I don't know. How long does it take? An hour? Check it out ourselves, I guess. This might just be combat. Sounds of fighting ahead. There we go. Compel you to crash through the foliage, sidestepping Varl and Dredge bodies along the way. You burst onto a scene of carnage. A vast number of Varl surrounded by Dredge. Explanations can wait. You charge into the fight. Oh, Hakan also has a level up. it doesn't really work without the pool to use it. What does this thing do again? Yeah, oh yeah, okay. Should I put Ursa instead of somebody else? It's a shame I don't know the... You know, see, like in a true tactics game, you'd get to see your enemies and the map, and then you'd get to select your characters and their placement, not in this weird piecemeal order. Ursa is so squishy, but let's just leave it as is. Hello? Okay. Interesting. Huh. This is an unfortunate state of affairs. I'd like to make this one... Actually, is that further away? I can't... Where's the grid? Shouldn't there be a grid across the... Is that not going to show up until the game starts? Is that what I get? Yeah, I think this guy's technically further away. Percy is a little bit squishier than the other Varl, so I'm a little wary of throwing him straight in. But Lud and Eric are even squishier, so it's... yeah. Oh, maybe the issue with the item is that if Eric gets downed, then it no longer applies to the party. Maybe that's the kicker. Well, let's see what we get. You're next. Sure wish I could charge something up. Unless I want to split up and go off this way. He's way late in the turn order. He's going to be... if I go this way, it's going to be 2, if not 3 turns before he actually is effective at anything, so maybe not. That dude's threat range is the big problem. Something tells me he's gonna make a beeline for Luden. Why wouldn't he? Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. use the ability right off the bat. What's even more interesting is he's going to be blocking his friend. Not that that will take for another turn anyway, so it's kind of whatever. Do I want to get him that close? Hold on, where is your next... Right, because it's 4 versus 6. So that's a riskier move than I really want to make. Luden might be okay doing it because he can stand at range, but... I think I know what I'm doing here. No, I don't, because it's going to be... He's going after. Okay. Hold on. 10 versus his 16. He's only getting a 40% shot anyway. So... maybe I just use him to lure... Excuse me. Do you have... You do. Okay. The question is, will it cut through... It's not cutting through the armor much. Is that subject to armor, or... I actually don't know. Could be a pretty big waste and a pretty big risk if it is, but... Won't know without trying. Eh, they both took 2, so you know... Oh, didn't think about that. Fuck. Went right through him. Two tiles. Does the knockback into his friend do damage? I don't know. It doesn't. Fuck. Alright. Suddenly not quite so happy with my choices, but let's see. Malice. Attack this hero the next turn. Okay, that would reduce the risk here, but the defender... Hold on. You're next. Okay. Probably best to use it where I can. Now, this is interesting. I don't have much else I can do, so do I go over and engage him, or do I try and aggro one of these guys and leave him for another turn? Okay, he's got another turn of not being useful, so I think moving over here is a better use of my time. Let's just hope. Interesting. Why? I guess if he doesn't care so much about friendly fire. If he's doing damage to Bercy. Unfortunately, that guy's next, who's going to go through Bercy's armor. Unless I get lucky and he does a dumb thing. Okay. Let's see. Armor break damage. Not my primary concern. Well, I suppose it sort of is, isn't it? +1 per unit they pass through. It puts them out of position in a place I don't like, but... Ugh. Yeah, I don't like that. Well, it looks like Bercy may not see the end of the battle, but... Oh, wait. Bercy was in the battle, but he was injured? Did I not notice that when I was setting up the... That might be on me. Keep forgetting that you can put injured people in the first place. It's odd enough. Well, that's my bad. Okay, so... Everybody's got decent will at the moment. So do I maybe try and lure this guy out instead? Nice. Okay. Okay. Do I stay here and fight these guys? If I retreat, I'm not getting away from this guy anyway. Although he wouldn't go through all of my armor. I'm hoping this is the right call. We'll find out. Oh, right, in the chain. Keep forgetting about that. Handy. Okay. Can't even see Luden behind all this shit. Shouldn't one of these guys have taken... I guess maybe he didn't move. Okay. Don't want to get people too much in the way. Or put them in too much danger. But... if we can knock this guy down. Okay, so that doesn't go through at all, really. Oh, the retaliation, though. Not great. I don't think Malice is the best choice at this point. This guy's not a huge threat. Who's next? You're next. You're probably going to attack him, do 2 damage. You have no ability. There's a chance you might go and do Mogre, but that's not a big deal. And then you are next after that, and you will do... Most armor you could do is 2. That might leave him at 5, which would put your 6 through to 1. Okay, so Bercy should theoretically have at least one more round of being alive in place. So, what does that say about this? It says I wish I had taken more points and... He doesn't come around for another couple of turns. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, 3 points. Yeah, he's not in a good place. So... Spend 2 points to get over here and run this guy down. This would give Bercy a better path of retreat as well. That's all that armor. But this doesn't do actual damage, right? Is this stupid? This is probably stupid. Go for it. Yeah, alright. That worked out. Cool. Good stuff. That would be dumb, right? If Bercy was healthy, it would be a great idea, but... Not passing through any additional units, so probably better just to do... Oh yeah, definitely better just to do this instead. He doesn't have another turn for a while. I suppose I should have already known that, given that he just had his turn, but... How's everybody doing? It's a shame nobody's banner differentiates who's an enemy and who's an ally. I still gotta identify everyone manually. Okay, all of my guys still have a decent amount of will. Unfortunately, it looks like Bercy's gonna get taken out. Okay. Well, he lived a while. Or not. Interesting. Ah, really? Fuck off. Dick. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably the better move, is to come take this guy down a couple of pegs. Should I spend it? Or not? Make it as weak as possible. Luden's not in trouble, but he's not going to be helpful. I'm trying to mitigate the possibility of Eric getting too roughed up by this guy. That should do it, right? Okay, at what point do we stop letting them pick away at our armor? There we go. Is that just a waste? I think it's just a waste. Yeah. He has more range than I thought. I forget his stuff's all different because he's a large creature. And I will rally. Yeah. Yeah, that seems to make sense to me. Ooh, he is way more roughed up than I realized. I'm misjudging some of this stuff. Okay, time to not lose him suddenly out of negligence. Where is he in the turn order? Okay. If I move up here and kill this guy, I'm trying to give him a path to retreat. That won't matter though, because this guy, well... I want to believe this is pretty safe, based on the turn order I'm seeing. Or at least the safest option under circumstances. You're way out in the turn order. The only person I'm screwing is Eric. And he can't be reached anyway. So, non-issue in my mind. Good to have him leveled up as well. Oh, except for I did just open that up. Ah, but this is perfect actually because it lets me block off. I don't want to take this guy out. Do I? I could, then we're in pillage mode, but then that potentially gives him... He can't move there. So as long as I move up here, I think that's safe. Good, okay, yeah. Of course he takes out a shit ton of my health when he does it. I may not have thought this all the way through. Fuck, it's not enough. It's better than nothing. I sure wish I knew who needed the experience. But I suppose a kill's a kill. Okay. It's It's really paltry. As the fighting wraps up, one of the Varl puts his axe away and puffs on a pipe. Hakan, he greets you. Glad you saw our signal. He explains that they had come from Schlid and were surrounded. He spotted you in the distance and lit a fire to draw your attention, at the risk of drawing the dredge as well. Back at the caravan, their sizable detachment join your ranks. Ogre comes to you privately. I've seen some of the warriors disappearing, he says. At first, thought it was my imagination. Now I'm certain several have just gone missing. Mostly men, but some Varl too. Can't quite figure it. If it's abandonment, you can't let it stand. I don't like making an example. Have any of them actually returned? I don't know. I don't know if I want Mogr following. He's not exactly stealthy. I don't think Luden is going to be very forthcoming. Although he might be, at least if he since it's mostly men, if he decides to exact his punishment, it's not on me. Demanding answers, also just the phrasing. Ask Luden. I ordered it, says Luden when you confront him. I sent my men to bring back gold from the cart you left behind. If you have a problem with your warriors joining them, maybe you should keep them under control. Well, the game really wants me to punch him. Insist he explain his actions. You left a pile of gold at the bottom of a hill, says Luden. What are the chances it'll still be there months from now? The only reason we aren't each carrying a share is because you don't trust us. I don't like either of these answers. I don't know. I mean, threatening him if he doesn't stop seems like he's technically right. Like, if I can't control my own warriors not to go help him with his task, then that's not on him, that's on me. I also don't particularly like him. It's unclear whether he's stealing it and keeping it for himself, right? Because I don't love that. But at the same time, he is the one risking his men's lives to get it. So... I don't know. No, he says unflinchingly. Mogr pulls you aside. He has no claim to the gold, but he takes no orders from us either. Like it or not, he's an equal. They'll repay us when this is over, and you'll look the better for it. Luden folds his arms. Man, the game desperately wants me to pummel him. Back down just seems... like, this is very... it's not the phrasing is not neutral. You leave no doubt in Luden's mind that another stunt like this won't end peacefully. He shrugs indifferently. See, that is not what that seemed to imply at all, but that is my preference. Your warriors demand a break. You halt the caravan with a sigh, but in all honesty, you're starting to feel the altitude and weariness yourself. Is that a scheduled thing within the game, or is that just because of, I don't know, morale's good, so. Mogr leans on a fallen tree, fiddling with a crust of bread. Getting colder, he says, staring into the distance. You can see Ridgehorn just start to peek around the mountains. A flock of ravens float across the sky towards the fort. We should follow those birds. Why? Without another word, Mogr starts running toward the birds and tumbles over the cliff. What? What? Suddenly, he's gliding through the air, flapping his arms for all they're worth. He swoops towards Ridgehorn before bursting into flames and plummeting into the tower, which crumbles like a log from a smoldering campfire. What the fuck did I just read? Okay, that seems like as good a place as ever to take a break from this. I need to go pace around my apartment for a moment. We'll be back to figure out what the fuck that means. Jesus.